Su-27 fighter shot down over Kyiv. A Su-27 fighter jet was shot down over the Ukrainian capital. A CNN journalist reports that a Su-27 fighter jet, which is in service with the Ukrainian Air Force, was shot down over Kyiv this morning. According to preliminary data, the combat aircraft collided in the air with an unknown missile, probably even fired by the Ukrainian military. At the moment, it is known that as a result of a rocket hitting an airplane, the latter began to fall on residential buildings. This led to the destruction of civilian infrastructure. In particular, it is known that the wreckage of the downed aircraft fell on a residential apartment building, which led to a fire. On the presented video frames, you can see the moment the aircraft was hit and the fall of its wreckage on a residential building. Judging by the video, the plane actually collided with a missile, since it can be seen that the fighter did not begin to disintegrate into large fragments in the air, and separate brightly burning fragments may be the result of a detonation or ignition of the ammunition load of a combat aircraft. At the same time, at the moment, the fact of the loss of the fighter has not been confirmed in Kyiv. However, experts note that Ukrainian combat aircraft flew over the Ukrainian capital a day earlier. According to the official position of Kyiv, we can talk about the destruction of a cruise missile, but judging by the size of the downed object, it is unlikely that the missile was hit, especially since if it were intercepted, it would almost certainly have detonated with a powerful explosion. Ukrainian missile destroyed Su-30 fighter. As a result of the impact of the armed forces of Ukraine, the Su-30 fighter was destroyed. Sources report that a Su-30 fighter was destroyed as a result of an attack by the Ukrainian military using the Tochka-U tactical missile system. This is allegedly confirmed by a published photograph showing a fourth-generation combat aircraft on fire. In the presented photo, you can see the consequences of the strike by the Ukrainian military using the Tochka-U OTRK. The strike was delivered in the morning, while the destruction of the fighter was refuted, but, judging by the available documentary data, at least one Su-30 combat aircraft was destroyed. Moreover, netizens drew attention to the fact that the Su-30 fighter had a canopy raised, which may indicate that a pilot was in it at the time of the strike, but no official statements have been made in this regard so far. At the moment, it remains unknown whether the fighter was damaged precisely by the strike of the Tochka-U tactical ballistic missile or by the fire that started as a result of the strike. No comments were received on how critical the damage to the fighter was. A little earlier it became known that a Su-27 fighter was shot down near Kyiv.